Welcome to Downtown Cafe. Please subscribe to our channel and also turn on your notification bell in order to get our latest updates.
Will be made to feel the pain and anguish that our people are feeling right now as I speak. Everything in the uniform of La République du Cameroon must remain a prime target in all the territory that is Ambazonia's. I have no doubt that they will be quick to report that the explosions were carried out by Ambazonia separatists. But why only today, if I may ask? A week before this mountain race of today, Bolia was brought under very tight La République du Cameroon security. Thousands of which were made to disguise themselves. They dressed up looking like farmers. Some took up hiding places in the farmlands, and others in regular civilian outfits walked the streets of Boya. They were planted everywhere in the city to ensure the security and the serenity of the race. With such a bountiful presence, how does anyone convince us or explain that the Cameroon army didn't carry out these explosives? We have gathered that early in the morning, 4 explosions were heard along the path of the mountain race that La République du Cameroon forced upon the city in spite of our loud and clear calls against it. That a city under war for over 6 years cannot be seen to be carrying out such exotic events like mountain race. La République du Cameroon organized the mountain race with impunity for one mission, and one mission only. That is, to cajole those who listen to them that peace has returned to Ambazonia, that no more activities are back, and that the war is won and over. The mountain race was organized to send the message that Cameroon doesn't need dialogue or negotiation to settle what they have considered or described as an internal crisis. The mountain race was organized to sell the false narrative that Cameroon is still in charge of southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, and that they have the capability to instill peace and security in Ambazonia. But that is not obviously the report today, isn't it? Fellow Ambazonians, while we wait for the count of the dead in today's incident, we must all hold the country of Cameroon responsible for the killings in Boya today. They are one too many. I have no doubt that they will be quick to report that the explosions were carried out by Ambazonia separatists. But why only today, if I may ask? A week before this mountain race of today, Bolia was brought under very tight La République du Cameroon security. Thousands of which were made to disguise themselves. They dressed up looking like farmers. Some took up hiding places in the farmlands, and others in regular civilian outfits walked the streets of Boya. They were planted everywhere in the city to ensure the security and the serenity of the race. With such a bountiful presence, how does anyone convince us or explain that the Cameroon army didn't carry out these explosives? How does anyone convince us that they didn't carry out this mayhem Just so they can turn around and tack it on the separatist fighters, as they like to call us. Consider for once the locations where the explosives were planted. I mean, not in the bushes, but right in the center of Boya, along the road paths, and in cars parked by. How did the explosives find their way into parked cars guarded by the Cameroon army? Who could have gathered the courage to do so if not the Cameroon occupying forces littered everywhere in Boya? Only yesterday, Friday, we saw hundreds of people show up at the same venue to commemorate the 50th anniversary of this mountain race. Nothing happened. Nothing. Zero. How come that less than 24 hours after, the city is planted with bombs? This is not the work of any Ambazonian. La République du Cameroon has to provide the answers. That is where we must go for the answers. Before today, we also saw only last week, hundreds gathered to celebrate the so-called Youth Day on the 11th of February. And still, nothing happened. No attacks, in spite of the fact that we had called for a lockdown. Cameroon must be held again to account for these killings. We can no longer allow the invaders to organize public events in the territory that has been under occupation and at war for over 6 years, as if nothing is going on. They put the security of our people in danger each time they organize these events. We will punish Cameroon for these continuous acts of impunity. The killing of the 5 in Tico last week. The killings in Boya today. The Kumba school killings. The Ngarebu massacre. The Pinyin killings. Bali killings, and you can go ahead and name the rest. One too many. Cameroon must hear from us. Cameroon, this is a new regime here, and I promise you that even if it should take us 6 months, we will deliver on this promise. And let me add that this interim government isn't ready for so-called negotiations when Cameroon continues to kill our citizens while hoping that we gather at the table to dialogue. And anybody talking or planning negotiations with Cameroon should better think of backing off right now. You converge anywhere with Cameroon. You sign any peace with Cameroon. You call for any ceasefire with Cameroon. Just be sure you are capable of enforcing it. We have a mission, and the mission is to avenge every soul that Cameroon has sent to the grave in Ambazonia in this war. All our restoration fighters killed, all our children killed, all our mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers. You can all sleep in peace knowing that we will stop at nothing, zero, until we have avenged your killers. But why we hold La République du Cameroon responsible for the killings in Boya today? I cannot fail to observe that the civilian population must take a share of the blame too. You were supposed to be at home. It was a lockdown. We warned you of the killer's stray bullets. We reminded you of Tico. You were supposed to remain indoors. Lockdown wasn't called because we knew that something was going to happen. It was called because we know exactly what La République du Cameroon soldiers are capable of doing. And they did just that. We were not wrong. It was called to stop. Lockdown was called to stop the mountain race and to prevent killings such as this. When next time you hear of lockdown, please stop procrastination and just stay home. Stay home. Again, they are not called to punish you or hurt you. They are called to protect you.